This is going to take you through an example for lesson 11.5, which is going to be applications of all of our work here in this chapter. It's going to use the area of a triangle based on trig. It's going to be using your SOHCAHTOA stuff that we've done. Obviously, Pythagorean theorem is going to show up within these problems. Law of sine, or the sine rule, and then law of cosine, or also called the cosine rule. So all of those things can get used. Here's an example. This is actually example 12 on page 493, where several things are involved. We have two triangles that are joined at the PR, that segment PR, and this has to do with John and Jan's two gardens. So they're asking us within these gardens, PQR being John's and Jan's being PRS, they want us to find the fence that's the length PR. They want us to find the area of John's garden, which is, remember, that's going to be the PQR. And then we're going to find the angle PSR that's within Jan's garden. So, and by the way, there's a little notation that they use in the textbook where, I don't know, they have a little symbol, a little caret symbol up above PSR. I believe that is another way of writing angle PSR. So that's a new one for me. That's the same thing as angle PSR. All right, so let's do the setup here. Let's do this first part. Find the length of the fence PR. Because we have a side angle side situation, we're going to use law of cosine, also called the cosine rule. And here's how that sets up. So remember, within our cosine rule, it's going to be that opposite side in this case that's going to get squared. So let me look at this real quick. I don't want to mess this up. But that's going to be, we have this opposite side here. That's going to be PR. We're going to say that PR squared is equal to, and now we use our subsequent little sides here. What do we got? 7 squared plus 12 squared. And then we're going to go minus 2 times 7 times 12 times the cosine of 30. So there's our setup within this relationship. So from here, we can do a whole bunch of math. I'm just going to do this quick. I'm not going to talk this through, but remember law of cosine, this is a common mistake here, 2 times 7 times 12. So we're going to have what? 14 times 12 is the shortcut there a little bit, 168 cosine 30. And a mistake is people like subtract those off before taking the cosine of 30. 168 is being multiplied by the cosine of 30 there. So don't do that early. That would be the last thing you would do there. Okay. Again, make sure your calculator is in degrees mode so that we get this opposite little side here of a 6.89. So if you calculate that out, you should get that PR, length of that fence is going to be 6.89 meters. Then they want us to find out, well, what's the area of John's garden? So there's part A. So then let's look at, what would this be? The area of PQR. So part B, the angle of that triangle, the area of that triangle, PQR, is going to be found with those measurements that we have there. So it's going to end up being 1/2, and we'll just put those values in there right now. 1/2 of 12 times 7 And then we're going to take the sine of 30, the angle that's in there. And so the area of this triangle is found using that formula that we got in the previous sections. So if you calculate that out, this one works out to be a pretty nice little number here, like I think what, 21 meters squared. So this one's in an exact value. Okay, there's the setup so far. Hang with us. Now we're going to find the measure of angle S. So angle S up there is involved in a triangle where we know the length of PR now. So we just calculated that. Let's put that in. That's 6.89. I'm going to round that to 6.9 for our purposes here. We'll use 6.89. We actually calculate it. So we have angle, side, angle within that triangle. So if we have side, angle, we use law of sines to find that other angle, S. So the setup goes like this. I'm going to say the sine of S is to that 6.89 that we have there as the sine of 100 is to that opposite side there being 13 meters. And I think from here you guys are pretty good. You're going to cross multiply, and then you're going to go to solving using proportions. It should match what you've got there in the book. You end up with angle S being 31.5 degrees. All right, kids, there you go. Have fun with it and get your homework done. Talk to you in the next video.